Then friends, now we have the Hindu of 13 June 2024. The first news is about 14 Indian among 49 workers killed in Kuwait inferno. As over a dozen injured in apartment fire, most of the victims hail from Kerala. PM announces aid of 2 lakh. Deputies Minister for Relief Work. And as we know that there are a lot of workers from India go to Middle East, specifically the Gulf countries, where they work, and sometimes they work in an unhuman conditions, where there are close packed in a quarter more than 2 to 3 to 8 people. And in this case of fire accident in Kuwait, we need to be think more consciously while our labor force go to abroad for working. Move on to the next news is Naidu is back as Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister. Second is news about Odisha. Manji sworn in as Odisha's first BJP Chief Minister. Veteran BJP MLA Mohan Charan Manji was sworn in as the 16th Chief Minister of Odisha on Wednesday. Delhi tanker mafia, water wastage to blame for scarcity every summer, Supreme Court. As we know that due to summer, there is a scarcity of water in Delhi, and there is a lot of politics happen over this issue. But as Supreme Court take serious note on this matter, they highlight the tanker mafia in Delhi, and even question the preparations of Delhi government. Why don't they act as a proactive policy to keeping the summer in mind, and what they have done so far to manage water wastage in the region? That's the Delhi case and Delhi water scarcity diary. Move on to the next. CRPF Jawan, 2 militant killed, 7 personnel hurt in Jammu encounter. As after the oath ceremony of our honorable PM, there is a continuous surge in the attack in Jammu and Kashmir. That want to portray in the international media that the Jammu and Kashmir region is very volatile again and insecure. Our Honorable Prime Minister has taken meeting with the National Security Advisor and to give a befitting reply to the terrorists in their tone. Recently, we have seen there is an attack on the Ma Vaishno on pilgrimage who are returning from Ma Vaishno Devi, and there is again number of attack increase on civilians in the Jammu and Kashmir region. Move on to the next. This editorial is about an earthquake in 2024 as it was in 1977. In this, C. Ram Manohar Reddy, a journalist based in Hyderabad, has talked about how these circumstances are very much similar in the time of Indira Gandhi. The modus of operandi and their strong decision making over their dictatorship and their emergency chapters, and now compare with the decisions of Mr. Modi. It's a good editorial for those who have interest in the politics. This article is about high expectations. Naidu must focus on creating jobs while continuing welfare scheme. It talk about the TDP chief K. Chandrababu Naidu as an he is the CM of Andhra Pradesh, and what sort of challenge he will face in upcoming 10 years, upcoming time, and what should be the way forward. This editorial talk about that. This editorial is talk about that right turn. The far right parties have done unexpectedly well in EU elections. Recently, the EU election take place, in which the rise of far right wing parties has been seen in the Europe. In the right wing parties, the nationalist approach is high and their country specific interest is high as compared to the group. And as from past news development, it is seen that the in Europe there is a rise in the right wing party due to the countries need and feel there is a separate and individual nationalist approach required. Why? Every country is suffering and having doubt about the NATO security to them after the Ukraine-Russia war, or even the increasing number of immigrants in the countries. They are spectacle about their countries, and even after the COVID-19 pandemic, the job loss and the continuous rising of inflations or the environment heat wave are the some directly and indirectly contributing factor for the rise of right-wing parties. Friend, in upcoming days, the election will be held in the UK and the USA in November, and there is a high chance that the rise of far right-wing parties of Donald Trump come into the power in the US, and that will be a huge source across the globe that the rise of far right-wing parties into the power. Even in India, although there is a not stable majority to the Prime Minister Modi to the BJP, but BJP is a right-wing party that has attained a status of right-wing parties. Move on to the next. Britain's summer of discontent. It also talk. This article is talk about the election in the Britain and how the current government facing challenge. Although they just managed the financial circumstances and the economy of the Britain, but the voter has keep the eyes on their frequent changing of their prime ministers, their economic secretaries, for their home secretaries, and their continuous bad impact of COVID-19 pandemic and refugee crisis in on their economy. It's remain to be seen what is the likely outcome when the elections result came in the Britain. Friend, this article talk about the fatty liver disease epidemic. The number of cases of fatty liver disease are increasing in day by day in India. How? Because there is two reasons. First one is consuming excessive liquor, and second one is the bad habit regarding the food diet, consuming excessive carbs and refined products that increase the metabolism of the body, and the fatty liver disease have impact the whole metabolism of the body, and some of the correlation between the diabetes, the uh, less metabolism, the sugar rises, and there's a irregularities in body. The way forward is that you need to personalize checkup of your own body, and then you just make your diet with balanced approach and make yourself physically healthy and involved in exercise and yoga. This article also talk about the far right swing in the European Parliament. While far right wing parties predict by exit, exit polls not materialize, far right wing party managed to make significant and historic gain in the member state France, Germany, and Italy. The EU climate policy become another bone of contention for section of voters. European farmers who have helped us record 4,000 different protests so far this year. While political analysts do not anticipate an immediate drastic shift in EU policy and over time rightward pivot of the EU agenda, which was already manifesting before the election, remain of concern. There are some issues that the EU farmer protests, and their want subsidies, and they want just their rights, and the rise of due to this result, even in France the election will happen again. Lok Sabha season from June 24. New MPs to take oath and elect speakers. As of now, 18th Lok Sabha has been decided their cabinet and their ministries, and now there is time to functioning for the parliament. And in June 24th, new MP take oaths and elect a speaker. And this news is about PM Modi to attend G20 G7 outreach in Italy. All eyes on possible interactions with Zelensky and Trudeau, as G7 is a powerful group of economies of 7 countries, which are deciding factors so far in many policies of world and has a impact on global decision makings. The G7 countries are has Canada, France, Germany, Japan, UK, and US. Move on to the next. SC2 here plea challenging result of NEET UG today. There, as we know that there is a n number of irregularities in the NEET UG result. There is a high number of toppers, more number of students who score as of unexpected result, and there is an allegation of paper leak. This matter is in Supreme Court, and the Alak Pandey, a leading edutech firm co-founders and renowned teachers in online community, is taking this matter into the Supreme Court. This news is about this India ranks second in nitrous oxide emissions. Nitrous oxide is a gas that is contribute in the environmental greenhouse gas, and it is produced from the fertilizers used in the agriculture domain, and it is a man-made gas that mostly contributed from China than India. It should be reduced, and it is a second most polluted gas after carbon dioxide that impact global warming. Industrial output growth dipped to 3-month low of 4.9%. Loan on second news is loan on life-saving products must IRDI. US feed hold rates steady, now forces just one cut this year. Brigade may invest 8,000 crore in Chennai. Sundaram Home Finance unveil emerging businesses. ACT FiberNet adds cities in AP NCR. Home broadband grow outpace telecom. Former Navy captain who entered Taiwan act on his own. China. A former Navy captain arrested in Taiwan for illegally entering was acting on his own accord and would be punished if returned to China. Beijing said on Wednesday. Taiwan Coast Guard picked up the man on Sunday, and after his vessel collided with other boat on Tamsuai River, which flow from the self-ruled island capital Taipei. I think this is the somewhere has the hand of China, in China and from China, and by the China there is nothing happen by their own. They just plan everything and portray that as it is a coincidence, or it is their individual choice. It is a tactic to make pressure on the Taiwan. Move on to the next. Dubai merchant ship hit in Red Sea of Yemen, say security firm Umbre. Pakistan increased defense budget by nearly 15% for the year of 2024 and 2025. It is a case of concern for India as well as Pakistan also, because the country which is going through a hard time, and they are struggling to manage their foreign assets and foreign buying things and oil, and in between they just record their foreign reserve record low in their history has been increased their budget by 15% is illogical and make not any sense. Move on to the next. EU threatened to increase tariff on Chinese electric car import. Macron called for moderate unity to beat far right in poll. Hezbollah fire rocket at Israel to avenge senior commander's killing. US to hope close gap in Israel-Hamas truce talk. Russia keep up its Ukrainian attack despite diplomacy buzz. Bangladeshi Nobel Prize winner Yunus indicate in graft case. Hong Kong government cancel passport of six activists. This is the sports section, and after us deep breath, fire Surya Kumar take over. Can Mbappe help France regain crown? Last dance for Ronaldo. With no ranking and no seeding, luck will play its part. Nikhat. She wants to remain injury free and in a good mental space in order to achieve her dream of winning an Olympic medal. Slum dung or fade away. A pro basketball league at last. Four new studies report progress toward the long awaited HIV vaccines. Research, is- Researchers at the Scripps Research Institute and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology have outlined two nanoparticles based vaccines candidates N332GT5 and EOD-GT8. This novel vaccine could help the body make two class of broadly neutralizing antibodies to attack HIV. That's from my side, friend. See you soon. Jai Hind.